Hey dudes, welcome to Splat from the Past, the only 80s themed horror and sci-fi show where things can get totally radical. Now today I will be welcoming a horror legend, and I'm talking about Helene Udy, the Canadian beauty who is in such classics as My Bloody Valentine, The Incubus, The Dead Zone. Oh my god, she was in Pin. And everybody knows her, of course, as Myra on Dr. Quinn Medicine Woman. And I'm having her on the show today to talk about all that stuff and more of her career. And I can't wait. It's going to be stupendous. It's going to be spectacular. So, here is my interview with Helene Udy. Hey, Helen.
Hey, how you doing?
I am doing spectacular. How are you doing?
Good. Can you hear me okay?
Oh, yes. You're coming in loud and clear.
Okay, good.
Oh, it's such an honor. Thank you
Sorry,
for...
I have a little doggy in the background looking out the window and feeling very...
Oh, I've had dogs. I've had birds in the background. A lot of them. It's such an honor. Thank you for taking the time today.
Sure. Hey, you have to stop. If he continues to make noise, I'll put him away somewhere. Yeah.
Okay. So, going back in time, Did you fall in love with acting early on?
Oh, yeah. I was probably about 13 when I fell in love with the idea of acting, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You did school plays.
I was watching Gallipoli at a theater, at a second-hand theater. When was Gallipoli done? I'm going to look here. Let's see if I've got those dates right. Hang on.
Mm-hmm.
But Gallipoli, when was Gallipoli? The movie. But yeah, Gallipoli, the movie, was what turned me on to acting for sure.
Mm-hmm. So
yeah.
You did school plays and community theater and all that?
Oh, yeah, I did school plays for sure. In grade 6, I had the lead in the school play. It was written for me by a wonderful woman named Helene Udy. She wrote the school play for me, and it was definitely one of the highlights of my childhood.
Nice.
Uh-huh.
And
yeah.
Your sister Claudia is also an actress. She's been in a couple movies I love too, like Out of Control and Savage Dawn.
Yeah, actually Gallipoli was out in 1981. That's so weird. It feels to me like it was out much earlier than that, but it wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess my story doesn't come together the way I thought it would. That's so weird. Like, you know how you remember things, but it's not possible because Gallipoli might have solidified it.
Yeah.
Let's see, the way we were, because I was already in theater school at the age of 15.
Nice.
So maybe that doesn't work. Yeah, the way we were was 1973. That makes more sense.
So
I love the way we were because my parents were divorcing, and my mother was Jewish and my father wasn't, and the differences, made it feel understandable.
Yeah.
So that was the beginning of my wanting to do movies, is like to reach out to people in a way if they were in pain, that was understandable. Yeah.
Now you were born in New Mexico but raised in Canada?
I was born in New Mexico and I was raised in Canada. That's right.
I have interviewed so many Canadians on the show. They are not only the nicest people, but also they got the dirtiest sense of humor.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
Well, that would not be me. That's very funny.
Yeah. Canadians are awesome.
Cool. Who have you interviewed?
Oh, boy. Art Hindle, Lynn Griffin, Leslie Donaldson.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah. All the usual suspects of Canadian horror.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great.
So the first time
Yeah.
you worked with George Mohaka was on Pickup Summer?
That's right. Yes, that is exactly right.
That was during a time when everyone was trying to make an Animal House or a Porky's.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Yes, that was George's version of that. Yeah, I love that movie. That was a really good. That was my first movie ever, and it was an incredible amount of fun.
Yeah, I actually watched a little bit of it.
That's how I met George.
Yeah, I watched a little bit of it last night on YouTube.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But you two had
that's cool.
you two had a good working relationship that he cast you in My Bloody Valentine next.
Yes, he gave me my first job and my second job. Both of them iconic jobs. He's a very talented director.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That
is very true.
Along with Carl Merrote and Thomas Kovacs, who, by the way, I'm not related to.
I figured. Yeah. Carl Merrote, Tom Kovac, so many more. Rob Stein, Lori Halyard, Michael Zelniker, his brother wrote it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of fun people.
Mm-hmm. What was filming like? Was it a short schedule?
Pickup Summer, I think, was shot in 14 days or maybe 10 days. But I didn't know it was my first movie. It seemed like a long time to me. Yeah.
Were you satisfied with the way you died?
Yeah. I'm sorry?
Were you satisfied with the way you died?
In Pickup Summer? No, in My Bloody Valentine. Yeah, that was a really fun thing to shoot. Yeah. I'm glad it worked out as well as it did. Yeah. Who knew that it was going to be so popular? We were really doing the best that we could, and all young actors really just pouring our hearts and souls into a story and being well directed and having a really fun time on set. Yeah, it worked out well.
Did you see the remake?
I didn't see the remake, no.
Yeah, I can't recommend it.
Oh, the remake. Yeah, the remake. No, I keep meaning to see it, and then I don't see it. I don't know why. I should see it, but I don't. I just haven't. I will one day. I do want to see it, but yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't thus far. Yeah.
I prefer the original.
Oh, well, thank you. That's very nice.
Of course. Of course. And then you did The Incubus.
I did The Incubus with John Cassavetes. Had a very small role in that, but that was fun too.
Yeah, I read that John Cassavetes rewrote like 80% of his dialogue in this movie. I mean, that's a master craftsman at work. Yeah.
It wasn't. It was a crazy movie. Yeah. He had a laughing fit one night when I was on set, and he had to say, I have to let you know that it's a 3-sprong sperm, or something having to do with a 3-sprong sperm. And we must have shot that scene we must have done about 20 takes, and it just got worse. He started giggling, and then by the 20th take, the whole set burst into laughter, and they had to actually lose that particular scene because he couldn't get through it. I think it was just at a time of his life where Harry was this fabulous actor with this incredible career, and finding himself on this horror movie, and it might have just been a tough thing for him to deal with. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Not to mention the fact it's a very sensitive subject to the subject of rape. I don't think this movie could be made today.
Right. No. Probably not. Not in the same way, no. Yeah, it's so different. It's so different. Things have gotten so much better.
Yeah.
And I think it's some of the things that went on when I was a kid that I just sort of thought, well, that's the way things are, you know? It's so great to see how things have changed. Yeah, how some stuff is unacceptable that was completely, par for the course in the early days. Yeah, great. Good stuff. More of that.
Here's something I'm sure you never get asked about. You did a Canadian TV movie with Jim Carrey called Rubber Face.
Yeah, that was great. I do have a story about that, and that is that Jim Carrey was nobody. He was just a young guy. We're about the same age.
Yeah.
Coming up in the world, and it was kind of a serious movie. It wasn't a comedy.
Yeah.
But we went to lunch, and he started just joking around and stuff, and he was so funny that I peed my pants. I really did. I peed my pants because he wouldn't stop, you know, and we were like, stop. We couldn't catch our breath. He was that funny.
Mm-hmm.
He was hysterical. So even then, on like, it was a children's, you know, it was one of those after-school special type things.
Right.
Yeah, but he was destined for greatness. It was so nice to see him do so well after that, you know?
Yeah, they released it on video, like right at the height of his fame in the 90s, and I saw it, and I was like, wow, this kind of reminds me of that Tom Hanks movie Punchline, you know, talking about you know, stand-up and trying to get there to achieve your dreams. You know, I liked it.
Yeah, it was really good. Gosh, you know what? I only paid attention to the scenes that I was in. I was his girlfriend's best friend.
Mm-hmm.
And I was in the
I know, I watched
public school. So I don't even remember any other part of that movie because I'm so self-centered.
Yeah.
I rarely watch the stuff that I do, so that was probably no exception. I don't think I've ever seen that movie all the way through.
Most actors have not watched their movies at all.
Yeah.
You know, and if they do, they get nervous.
It keeps us honest.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And then you did The Dead Zone.
The Dead Zone?
Yes.
Yes. I had a very small role in that as well. I was Dr. I was Dr. Wyzak's mom in World War II.
Mm-hmm.
I had one line, and it was, Dashu, Dashu, if that can be called a line. And I was running after the carriage through the streets of Poland, World War II, saying goodbye to my son who was being swept away to be in the war. It was a really incredible moment. Felt like I was doing a lot, but, you know, it was really about 5 seconds of the movie. Yeah.
Yeah, David Cronenberg.
Great. I got to meet Christopher Walken and work with one of the, you know, movie's all-time great as a director. So, yeah, I felt pretty lucky.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people to this day still ask you about that, huh?
Oh, yeah, everybody asks about those things. Definitely. Pretty, yeah, it's nice that they do.
Did you move to LA at that point?
I moved to LA in 1982.
1982.
I think it would have been 1982. Let's see what this says. Yep, 1982. And the first thing I did was As the World Turns.
Oh, the soap opera.
Yeah. The soap opera. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, and you.
End of 1982, I moved to New York in 1982.
Mm-hmm.
And then I must have moved to, but The Dead Zone was shot in 1982. It wasn't shot in 83. It came out in 83, I guess. And then, and then I moved to LA, I think in 1984.
Mm-hmm. 1985, you did an episode of the Twilight Zone reboot.
It was Wes Craven.
Yeah.
Wes Craven directed that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you also,
I felt like I was in the presence of greatness. He's a really nice guy. He's dead now, but he was a really, really nice guy. Very soft-spoken, very kind, very thoughtful, you know. Yeah.
Yeah, must have
Not the, you wonder what's going on in his head because it sure doesn't show from the outside. You're like, ooh. Stephen King kind of looks a little nutty,
Yeah.
I mean, in the best way. Stephen King looks very intense. Wes Craven looked like the opposite. He just looked like a guy in the crowd.
Did Tommy Lee Wallace do some directing on that episode too?
Did who?
Tommy Lee Wallace, because he's also credited for directing that episode.
Huh. I don't know. I don't know who Tommy Lee Wallace is.
Yeah,
I don't know.
He directed Halloween 3 and the original Stephen King's It.
Oh.
Yeah. But that must have...
Wes Craven that directed my episode, I'm pretty sure. Do I make up these stories and then just believe them? I'm pretty sure it's him.
No. It's probably an IMDb flubber,
It's probably what?
It's probably an IMDb flubber,
Yeah, I think so. I think it was Wes Craven that directed the one that I did. Yeah.
Yeah, that must have been intimidating though to be a young actor on a set with, oh my God, such great talent. Robert Klein, Annie Potts, Robert Downey Sr. Wow.
I didn't know who those people were. So no, I when I was a kid, I wasn't allowed to watch TV. So a lot of famous people, I didn't even know they were famous.
Yeah.
And that was good for me because that meant that I didn't sort of shake in my boots. I could just focus on the work and just do the best that I could. Yeah.
That works to your advantage.
So I didn't know that those people were as important and special as I knew them to be now, for sure.
Yeah, that works to your advantage because then you don't, fangirl out on them.
Yeah, I didn't. I lost it with Cadney and Lacey. When I was on Cadney and Lacey, I was overwhelmed. I was in the same scene with both. I was in the scene with both of those ladies, and I just lost my mind. I wasn't very good in that. Well, I did okay, but yeah, they scared me.
Oh.
They were so iconic. Yeah.
That's a little sweet, though, I have to say.
Yeah.
Then you transitioned into sci-fi with Night Flyers.
Yep, I did. Who knew? I did not know that writer was going to be so famous, or maybe he was even already. I don't know. Was he? When did he get famous? Let's see. Wait a minute. It's the guy that wrote Game of Thrones. Where's Night Flyers? I can't see it.
Yeah, Night Flyers was in '87, and then Game of Thrones wasn't until like 20 years later. Yeah.
Night Flyers was written by
George Martin.
Yeah. George R. Martin.
Yeah.
But at the time, I have no idea if George R. Martin was as famous as he is now.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think he was.
I don't think so either.
So
there you go.
He paid his dues back then.
Yeah. Yep.
But what was it like?
Very true.
What was it like working with Kathy Stewart?
Catherine Mary Stewart is a lovely, lovely human being.
Yeah.
The character that she played was, a very elegant and reserved and mysterious person, and I have to say that she kept that going on set.
Right.
Yeah. So, I didn't get to know her very well, but I had a lot of admiration for her, and she was very sweet.
Yes. She's been on the show. Yeah, she's been on the show 5 times, and every time she's on, we just have a ball. We're always laughing and stuff. She's a very sweet person.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
She's lovely.
And that whole cast is great.
And I enjoyed that movie. I met my best friend at the time, Lisa Blunt.
Oh, yeah. So sad she passed.
I met Lisa Blunt on that shoot, and we became fast friends, and we're friends for years and years. And she married her husband and moved away, and we lost touch. And then, of course, she died, which was very sad for all of us.
Yeah.
She was a pretty exceptional human being, but What a great, I'm looking at her IMDb as I speak about her, you know?
Yeah. I would have loved to have interviewed her.
Yeah, because I'm trying to figure out when did she die. Oh, 2010?
Wow, has it been that long?
So long ago.
Yeah. Yeah, I would have loved to have interviewed her. She seems like that she would have been a sweetheart.
She was a fireball. She was a Southern fireball.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's good.
I really like Lisa.
Do you have any good stories about Penn?
Good stories about Penn. Well, I mean, it was an exceptional movie. I was working with, I just remember that the actors on that, Dave Stewart, is it Dave? I have to find out because it's been a while. Penn.
Sandra Stern.
I don't have any secret stories about it because nothing secret happened.
Yeah.
But Dave Hewlett, yeah. Cynthia Preston, definitely. John Piper Ferguson, I know he works a lot now. He's been on The Last Ship. Oh my gosh, yeah, that guy never stops working. Yeah, so I guess you could kind of tell that about him. He played a different character than the one he's always played. He played the clean-cut football star, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, he was an intense fella. But I don't have anything that I can remember saying about it, except that it was really fun. And again, Canadians really, they take the work seriously. It doesn't matter if it's a sci-fi or a horror movie or whatever. Mm-hmm. It's just 100% like finding the best way to dig into the character and become the character. And so it's always so much fun to work with these people. And Sandor Stern is an amazing director. I think that is an underrated movie. Pin is a scary movie, and I think it's moody. And I think I play a really nasty character in it.
Yeah.
And I had a lot of fun with that. Yeah. That's all I can say about that. Go see Pin. You won't regret it.
I saw it once a long time ago. It was creepy, but I liked it.
Yeah, very creepy.
Yeah.
Very creepy. Yeah.
So a lot of audiences in the last 25 years know you as Myra on Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman.
Yes, so true. Thanks for mentioning that. Nobody seems to care.
Oh.
That was definitely one of my favorite characters to play. Possibly my favorite character to play ever.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that show's had a lasting impact. Are you, astounded at how that show has just lasted and people love it?
I'm actually not, because I love the show. It's a wonderful show. It's a niche show, and it really, when there's so much darkness in the world right now, I think it's great to have a show like that that's hopeful and, full of possibility. And it's just this show. It's a good family show. Yeah.
Yeah.
I really, really love that show.
How did you get that role?
Well, that is
Hello? Helen?
I was just barely hanging in there. And I couldn't afford things, but I was cutting the corners there, and I couldn't afford car insurance, and of course I got into a car accident, because why wouldn't you?
Oh, yeah.
When you're not insured. And I got a note saying, you should appear in court, and of course I thought the best thing to do about that is just ignore that note, so I ignored it. And then, to make a long story short, my car got stolen. It was a VW Bug, and it was all getting stolen because it was so easy to break into. And it was one of the times that it got stolen. It got stolen, and the police called me and said they'd recovered it, and could I come down to the station to get it back? And so I did. I raced down there. My girlfriend, Laura Lyons, drove me in her car, and I was still in my PJs, as I remember.
Mm-hmm.
And they interrogated me at the police station, and they kept saying, well, we're not arresting you for that. And they kept asking me if I had been driving the car, because apparently my car had been involved in a car accident. And I was like, no, I reported it stolen, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, they did arrest me, and why they arrested me was for not appearing at, not a non-appearance, and they threw me in jail. I spent the night in jail, and then the next day I had court. When I went to court, my best friend Vince always showed up to me. Went to court, and we thought I was in some trouble, but we didn't think it was terrible trouble.
Yeah.
And the woman in front of me had Coke, a mirror on the front seat of her car, and Coke residue.
Ooh.
And she was let off on her own recognizance, which means they just assumed that she would come back for her court date. And it came to me, and for a non-appearance, I was fined $8,000. $8,000 was my bail.
Wow.
So I spent another 3 days in jail because, of course, I didn't have $8,000. And wonderful people like Betsy, Betsy, I can't remember Betsy's last name, famous horror star, Betsy Russell.
Betsy Russell, yeah.
And Van Patten put up some money, and Lisa Blunt put up some money, and Lori Hallier put up some money, and all my friends put up some money, and between them all, we gathered $800 and sprung me out of jail. And I got home without a car, and I had an audition the next day, and the audition was for Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman. And I took the bus to that audition, and that evening, I got the pilot. So it changed my life.
That is incredible.
And also, I think that the state of mind that I was in, I was so sympathetic with Myra's character, with a good person in a bad situation that had made some mistakes and, was just hoping for things to get better. So I think that, the universe did me a huge favor. And I got Dr. Quinn, and that changed my life. Yeah, it did.
That is incredible.
And that's the story of Myra Dean. Huh?
I don't think I've ever heard a story like that at all. That's amazing. Wow. I think
a lot of actors actually would have done well. I know the lead girl in Northern Exposure had something similar happen to her.
Really?
And then she got Northern Exposure.
Huh.
Who's the girl in Northern Exposure?
Oh, Janine Turner.
Yeah. But, acting is not the saint of heart. you got to starve and just hang in there and believe that, there's a reason. And, yeah. Janine Turner.
Yeah, Janine Turner.
I remember hearing something on the news about Janine Turner that she was just about to give up on acting as well. And she got it. She got Northern Exposure just like in the nick of time. So it happens every once in a while if there's a crazy story like that. But yeah.
Yeah.
You have to be.
Jane,
you have to be willing to starve and go to jail to get to get to where you need to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was Jane Seymour nice to work with?
Yeah, she was lovely. She was really professional and really devoted to the series. Very devoted to it, and she was there 24/7. I mean, she had no days off. She had no days off.
I can imagine.
She's a workhorse.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing, yeah.
And James,
she's lovely.
And James Keats directed episodes. What was he like?
I love James. James was an actor's director.
Mm-hmm.
And so he would take his time and really work with the actors. And, he was that kind of director. He didn't do anything fast because he wanted to make the best episodes that he could. So, yeah, he was lovely.
Mm-hmm.
He was lovely. He really came at it from an actor's point of view. So, was good. I liked him.
Oh, yeah.
I liked him. I don't see him at all, but
Oh, yeah. Comes from a great family of actors.
he does. He does, yeah.
Didn't you...
He's doing now. I'm on IMDb, so every time you mention something, I'm like, oh, I should see what's he doing.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh. What is James up to now? Let's find out.
Producing, probably.
James is doing a TV series. Oh, he was doing a TV series for a while. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He produced that Johnny Cash movie, Walk the Line.
That's right, he did. He and Jane, I think, produced that. I think they might have produced it with the Cash family, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure how that worked. But yeah, that was a big coup.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
That was a big coup. I remember working with Johnny Cash. He was fantastic. I do have a Johnny Cash story, and that is that Johnny Cash came on set. He came into the makeup trailer, and he was dressed in black the way you'd expect him to be.
Yep.
And he walked up the stairs, and there was just myself and maybe one other actor in there and a couple of makeup people. And he walked straight up to me, and he held his hand out, and he said, "How do you do? I'm Johnny Cash." And I just about fell out of my chair because, of course, I knew exactly who he was. And I heard him say, you know, "Hey, I'm Johnny Cash." Like, he's just that kind of just the way he's always said it. So he was just being extremely humble, but it just about knocked me off my chair. What a kind man. I can't even believe it now when I say that I worked with Johnny Cash. It seems like a dream, you know?
Yeah.
Because, wow. Yeah. So special.
He was great.
And his wife, so sweet.
Yeah. He was just one of the greats, that man. No way of describing it.
Unbelievably humble, though. You know, not an ounce of arrogance at all. Just like, wow, what a nice man. Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't act like a star.
Not at all. Imagine walking up to some nobody and handing your hand, you know, extending your hand, going, "Hi, I'm Johnny Cash." Like I wouldn't know who. It's like I had no idea.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Helene Udy. I'm sure I didn't have the same impact on him. But he was so nice. I still have a photograph of him and myself on the set. You know, one of the makeup people took it secretly because she could tell that I was just sort of gaga over him, you know. And so she wanted me to have a little fan photo. So I got a fan photo with Johnny Cash. I hope I can find it here somewhere.
Oh, yeah. Find it, frame it, and make sure no one takes it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's around here somewhere in my box of precious things. Where it belongs, where you don't ever look at it, but I remember that it's there.
Yeah. So you've continued working through the years in TV and film, but are you doing any theater right now?
I am. I always do theater because I run a cabaret show once a month called Was ist das, which is "What is that" in German. Mm-hmm. And I run it. We're about to do a Halloween show, so I'm guaranteed to be doing that once a month. And also, I belong to a clown troupe called Mill Groove. It's a Buffon troupe, and that's MILGROUS, Mill Groove, and that is super fun. And we play out all over the city, and we won a Fringe Festival Award in August, and we got invited to New York City, and we're going to be doing a couple of weeks at the Soho Playhouse in New York City between December 11th and December 21st. I'm going to New York to do that. So,
nice.
Yes, I have in the past many years really sort of developed my interest in comedy, and sort of a specialized form of comedy that we call clown. That's a little different from what you think of when you think of clowns. Mm-hmm. It's just sort of, I don't know. Look me up and you'll see pictures of it. That's what it is.
Okay.
It's sort of a crossbreed between clown and comedy.
Mm-hmm.
It's a crossbreed, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I take it you're not scared of clowns.
That's my favorite thing to do.
Yeah. So I said, I take it you're not scared of clowns.
No, and I saw that movie, The Joker, and well, it wasn't my favorite movie, but I'm biased.
I have
I
not.
think that I think that the arc was lost in that Joaquin Phoenix should have been a likable person at first, but maybe that's not how they saw it. They just saw him as a very spooky character right from the get-go. And I'm not going to spoil it with TMI, but
Yeah.
I wish it had started differently.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to get skewered for being so honest about my opinion, but not my favorite movie.
Yeah.
I know everybody's raving about it, and it'll probably get an Academy Award. I think that what is behind it, the message behind it, is a valuable and worthy message. It's something we need to pay attention to. I think it's absolutely true. I think it could have been played with more finesse, and then it would have been even more heartbreaking and skewered at the heart. But, go see the movie anyway. Forget about what I say.
I don't even know if I want to go see it. I can't believe Hollywood has gotten
Have
to
you
this.
seen it?
No, I can't believe that Hollywood has gotten to this point where they're making a movie about a superhero villain. I mean, what's next? Are they going to make a movie about Brutus? Are they going to make a movie about the Wicked Witch of the West?
Yeah, well, who is it? Who is it? Soderbergh, isn't that Soderbergh?
Yeah, Steven Soderbergh.
Yeah, well, he always turns things on his, he's always provocative. He always turns things on their side,
Right.
I do love Steve Soderbergh. Generally speaking, I really, really do love him.
Yeah.
But I get what he was up to, so I celebrate that.
Yeah, he's an interesting guy. Interesting director.
Yeah, he's definitely an interesting director. I'd work with him.
Well, Helen.
I explained to him about what it is to be a clown, and maybe he could do that part again.
Well, Helen, I thank you so much for coming on today, and I hope your show goes very successful.
Which show?
Your clown show you talked about.
Oh, thank you. Yes, you should come and see it someday. Are you anywhere close to New York?
No. I'm in California.
Oh, you're in California, all right. Well, yeah. Well, are you in Los Angeles?
No, I'm in Reading, but I go out to LA quite frequently.
Oh, well, let me know if you're in town. Maybe you can catch the cabaret. It's very fun, and it's full of clowns. The show I run once a month is full of clowns and funny people and beautiful people, and it's just really great. So hopefully one day you'll see it.
Awesome. Okay, I'll let you know. And
yeah, thanks for calling, or thanks for having me on.
Oh, my pleasure. And maybe have you on again. We can talk about some other rules that we didn't get to.
All right, sounds great. Okay.
Okay.
Take care.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye-bye. You too, bye.
Well, there you have it. Helene Udy. Ain't she a sweetheart? Very interesting, fascinating lady, and very fun, too, I have to say. I enjoy talking to Helen. If you like this video, everyone, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Add me as a friend on Facebook. Join my Tommy Kovac comedian page on Facebook. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram and all that fun stuff. Well, that's all the time we have this week on Splat from the Past. Until next time, this is Tommy Throwback Kovac saying, there's no shame in living in the past, because the present sucks. Later, dudes!